Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Corner Flag Talk podcast. It's your boy John, and we are here to bring you the latest in football. Out of more curiosity than anything else, I went scrolling back to like some old pods like 2 years ago. In fact, there was a pod that started off with me saying, you know, me and Brandon don't even get to do pods alone sometimes, so this is a rare thing. And well, since then, me and him do real pods solo, going through the years. And I also was taking it the way that we started pods. And I was just there like, so I started real playing these pods with no kind of energy in it. And I'd be like, hey guys, welcome back to the Corner. Like, what any Joe button is that, bro? That is so not the vibe that we're here for. And on a week where we once again have a full panel of 3-point collectors, I have Brandon here with me. Brandon was a good my
guy. Hello everyone. I just want to say, but by the time we're recording this or by the time it comes out, a happy Diwali to everybody who celebrates.
Hope everybody have a safe day, a fun day with your family and friends. And then we have the Kill. What's it good, my guy?
I'm fine. What's up?
He bring on the deep voice, guys.
That's my voice, man. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, the Kill trying to seduce people. We recorded at 12 a.m., guys. Like, I am not even joking. We are recorded at 12 a.m., but that's how committed we were to get to see you guys on Monday morning. And so, as you guys would expect, we're going to go through all the stuff that happened in the Premier League this weekend, do a quick glance at Europe, and then look ahead because the Champions League is once again back this week, and get through all of those as quickly as we can. And so, no better place to start this weekend than with Liverpool versus Manchester United. It has been a very long time since Manchester United won at Anfield, and I'm fairly certain you both heard it on commentary. Who was the last manager when it is United won at Anfield? Would any of you like to inform the people who was the last United manager to win at Anfield? It is Louis van Gaal, which is to tell you how long ago it has been. But United took the lead extremely early. Some might say under some controversial circumstances, which we'll get into. And then Liverpool did what Liverpool does. Get equalizer before they concede late. Because that's what they've been doing for the last 3 Premier League games. And so there is no better place to start. Now, when the man who finally get to see his side win back-to-back games under Ruben Amorim.
Bro, you don't even know.
Take us away, bro. How did you feel going into the game and then as the game transpired?
I didn't think we had a chance, to be honest. Going into Anfield, Liverpool, significantly better team. We've been playing absolute nonsense. But I think I'm wrong for that because United problem has never been, for years, trying giving performances against teams that are significantly better than them. We always find ways to play good against teams that are better than us. Our problem has usually been teams that we should be beating on a weekly basis. But that aside, I didn't think we could have come into this game and played the way that we did. I think it was a wonderful performance. To start off like that and score a goal off rip. It set the standard for how the game was going to continue. Now Liverpool came back into the game and they was dominating for large spells. They could have scored a lot of goals, got pushed away, a couple goals well. But I mean, yeah, the ideal luck sometimes and United did it and win the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like to say you also didn't throw it as well, because you all noticed that I had to watch the game back afterwards, but like I had the foot mob open on my phone in between the book that I had open during the class I was in, and I seen the stats going by, right? And like in the first half, I see both sides hit the post, both sides had big chances, and it was a very entertaining game, right? In fact, I have felt like there's this misconception of where football is right now in general, that like people are crying out for entertainment, but like I think specifically in Premier League that like teams have become so well educated, that coaching standard has been so high, and that like there's such advancements in how they train and tactics and all this kind of stuff and out of possession work and thing, that like low blocks is just a thing, and it's very hard to get games where you're gonna run up the score instantly and play this magical football right through. Like even we get to talk about City like later on and stuff like that. Like those games won't transpire the way that they did. But Liverpool seem to be committed to giving people the end-to-end football that they really asked for. And this game really did have chances on either end. As a neutral watching this though, Salik, how I know you also, like me, would have had doubts going in about United, but they did put in a performance, in my opinion, that did warrant the result that they got. So what do you think coming out of the game?
Yeah, I think they were good. They were good value for the win in the end. I think it has a lot to do with the state of Liverpool right now. But I'm not going to take away anything from United because this is one of the times where they deserve praise, and I'm going to give them the praise that they deserve. I thought a lot of the players that they played very well. I just want to single out the triangle, I call them, on the side, that right hand side, Mbeumo, Cunha, and Ahmad. I thought they were fantastic today. I thought they really caused Liverpool problems throughout the entire game. People could say whatever they want about Bruno, even myself, but I have to say he played really well today. I thought he put in a great shift today. And I also want to shout out a player, and Dikil and I have gone back and forth on this player for years. And the funniest thing is that my major criticism of this player is exactly what I'm going to give him praise for right now. Is that, bro, Maguire is so clutch at the end of games, bro. Like his heading ability, he finally using that slab. Finally, after all these years. And he's like, I want to ask Dikil this because I feel like there's an interesting thing now. Like, I know we'll get more into Liverpool, but like, do you think Maguire has like fully exited the redemption arc, and like I think everybody just wants him to do well now at United, because I feel like before he was much maligned. All these problems that people think he should go and they should sell him and whatever. But in the last 12 months, bro, my goodness, he's been monstrous.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, and as somebody who has been on the Maguire train since he had the dip, and I was still backing him. Maguire, to me, has found a way to, and I guess that's the kind of character you want in any player that playing for your team. Even though that players want them out, they want to leave, whatever the case is. They find a way to get themselves back into the graces of the players, get themselves the graces back into the manager, and find a way back into the team. And I find Maguire has shown that he has character about himself to be able to not only forget, because he was almost about to leave, he was almost going to go to West Ham a couple of years ago. I think when David Moyes was there, he almost went, but he said, no, I want to stay, I want to fight for my place. And he did exactly that. Now he's back starting for us, even though we have a bit more options now, you could probably say. And not only starting, he's actually playing well. He's probably not a player that you want out of the starting 11. And yeah, I just think Slabhead is one of my favorite players in United. I can't lie. So I might be biased, but yeah, I love him.
I think too, like he obviously had a very, very good game, and I actually in the back part, no, I actually didn't really find out a lot of the game, but the other the back five had a good game, and it was actually really unfortunate I might get booked there, boy, and had to come off because he was really having a good influential game, and I thought Shaw was really, really good. I think this was the first game for the season that I thought Shaw had a good game, and I thought, I'm not gonna go past this season because I don't think he was that good before that. But I think the Lit has been having a solid campaign for United this season,
Bro, I think a lot of people don't admit that, if you're being honest.
Yeah, And so, but in terms of United, and we're looking at some players here, and Mbeumo, he obviously scored, and it does beg the question now of where could United go from here now? And Nikhil, I'm so glad that you said it before, because I also was thinking this coming into us recording this. I'm not taking away anything from Amram, I'm really not, because he did do things today and he did react well in the game. But this is not anything dissimilar in terms of commitment to put out this sort of performance versus a big side that we have seen with Oli, with Ten Hag, even from before that with Jose and going on the line, right? That when it comes to the teams that the club has history against, or is a normal big side where they could play more as responding to what the other team trying to do. But the question does beg now: can they build on this? Because we aren't. I don't think the questions have been. And I'm not trying to damper what is a absolutely brilliant result. But what it is that you all play next week against Brighton, you
Mhm.
know, where they would now come and ask you all to be protagonists. Do you feel like there is something here to build on for you all to take that sort of approach to a game going forward?
I mean, it's always something to build on. I mean, this is the first time we have back-to-back wins, so you need to start stacking them. But United has a problem where they will have a performance like this, a play like this, and everybody will get amped up like we win at Anfield, and you start to get hope in the team, and then Brighton will come and smack with three in the first half. So it's not about really. Yes, this is a great performance. You can't take anything away from the players, the manager, the team. But to me, in my head, low key, I don't really care about this result. I don't really care about this game. I want you all to go and do this exact same thing next week now. Go and do that against Brighton. Go and do that against Sunderland. Go and do that against teams that are supposed to respect you and teams that you're expected to beat because we haven't been doing that lately.
Yeah, very fair. We saw that, obviously United, and they said it in the post game that they did target the fullbacks, and it given that the way that United naturally set up now with wing backs and wing forwards, there is overload naturally in those areas, and that is where we see those players coming for. I mean, I said before, I don't really think Dalo had a good game. I think it became even worse when he went on the side with Gakpo, you know. But outside of that, we saw Embuemo, we mentioned, had a good game. Cunha had a good. I think Mount was okay. I don't think he was always good. I think he was really good for the out of possession stuff, but like they were throwing balls at each other for him, and it wasn't maximizing his skill set, right? But we saw that becoming a thing. Last thing I want to ask then, before we could probably switch to more Liverpool, is we saw triangles forming on that right side. Could this be like a staple then going forward? Because we saw a lot of switching, right? We see Dalo there, we see Mazraoui there, we see all kind of people play right wing back and stuff. But could we start to see a little triangle forming on that right side? Because Delit play the furthest on that right side. So Delit, Ahmad, and Mbamo. You all think that's something they could have going forward consistently? Go ahead now,
Well,
Brandon. You go first.
oh, well, I mean, yeah, I mean, that's possible, but um, the only thing I'll say is that today Amram decided to go without Sesko, so I have a feeling that if they were to start Sesko, I mean, it might look a little bit different. But I want to give him credit for that, though. That I think that that decision I don't think was viewed
Easy to make.
positively before the game.
Yeah.
No, I don't even think easy to make. I don't think anybody thought that was a good idea prior to the game. Like
Yeah.
everybody I know, it's like, why is Sesko not starting? Like he should, he should be starting. But um, and I also feel like if Sesko plays, I feel like that triangle will remain constant, but the players might change, and that's why I feel like Amram, we might start to see the best of Amram, because I think what he did today was very good. He even said in the post match that they're not any different from 90 minutes ago. I think that's what he said or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like I think as the Q said, they had to do this next week before we could finally say they probably going in the right direction.
Yeah. The kill.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that I know you mentioned like that triangle there, but I also feel like because Euro is the one who usually be on the right hand side of the back, and I find Euro has been having a very good season. It's just that the injury and Amorim keep on swapping in and out, swapping in and out.
Yeah,
But so it, I guess that's a good headache to have as a manager. He just needs to dependent on how he wants to play, I guess, defensively. If you probably want to advance a little bit more, you want to be higher up on the pitch, it might make more sense to have Euro in a in a in a game where you want to sit on the back foot. Probably better to have the legs.
Yeah.
Good headache to have, but again, Amorim just needs to find the right balance because, again, to your point, people probably would have said, "Hey, why is this going to start?" And it seemed to be the right decision, but going into the next game now, is it something they're going to continue with? Is it going to be the right decision in that game to actually continue with it? Those are the kind of
Yeah,
things that we had to look at Amorim with, because he's tried to switch before and it did not work. And it was quite clear, like, why didn't you play this player? He's been playing good all the time. Why are you dropping him? So
yeah, yeah.
Amorim, I don't think, knows his best starting 11. Part is on him. Part is because these players have been, I personally think, have been abysmal in instances. They have not consistent. So it's very hard to say, hey, this might stay in the team. So I think yeah, there are options, but I don't know. Let's see.
Well, I think the other thing too is that, like, based on how he knew the game would have gone today, I do think like Delit and Maguire were the better choices given how the game was going to transpire. And then you think it's right.
Mhm.
Like, both of them have been playing really well. Like, Delit has been having a very good season. You know,
Yeah.
you're not going to drop him after that. And like Maguire already said, our back three's catch money, bro. You know, like we know he's very good at that, right? You just mentioned though that you don't think that Amorim knows his best lineup. Well, I can tell you a manager who definitely doesn't know his best lineup, and that is Arne Slot. And I just want you guys to guess, right? When was the last time you think these clubs lost 5 games in a row? So Manchester City, how long ago do you think it was since they lost four games in a row? Sorry, not 5, 4 games in a row.
Last year.
Surely City is last year. Yeah.
It was 1 year ago. Manchester United.
This year.
Yeah. Sometime this calendar year.
Yeah, within the last 12 months.
It was a year ago.
Right, fair enough.
Tottenham.
On that end, probably last year, you know?
Yeah. Why? Yeah. Everything's so recent, to be honest.
It is actually all recent. A
Wow.
year ago. Chelsea.
Ooh. 3 years ago.
When was Potter, boy? 3 years ago? Yeah, 3 years ago.
2 years ago. I'm going to assume it happened at some point on the pitch.
Poch, yeah,
Arsenal.
probably. That good while
Ooh,
ago.
there's a good while. Probably.
Probably after the
just
second
now.
season, I feel.
Yeah.
I don't know what year that is.
Whatever season that you all lost to that Demarai Gray last minute goal is the last time you all lost for him. That's why I don't know what season that was.
Was
but
that 5? No, he in the job 6
still
years
need that
now.
number.
That's like
He
I'm gonna go
5
with
years
4.
now.
I'm gonna go with 4.
That's like 5 now to me, I think.
It's 7 years ago. It was on
Look how,
Emery.
wow.
This last time it happened.
Wow.
Look at that. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And prior to this weekend, how long ago you all think it was his last time Liverpool lost 4 games in a row?
3 before club.
That'd be before club. So I can't say 10 years ago.
I said 12.
Wow, that's real unfortunate because it's 11. So you all came very close. So it's fucking even out, right? It's been a very long time. But I mean, there's people that wanted us to believe that guys, they aren't clicking yet and they're winning. They could only go up from here. Well, the contrary was proven true because they literally went the complete opposite direction and have had 4 losses in a row now. And with the exception of the Galatasaray game, they all have come in similar fashion where they continue to just give opportunities to the opponents. And as somebody said, like, you can't keep going into the last 10 minutes of games still searching for a goal because you're not always going to find it, you know? And so there is players that I want to highlight and a players debate that I want to get into.
Mhm.
But I want to start with Slot because it does really seem like he doesn't know his best 11. And I also think he's getting some calls wrong in terms of managing this group. You know, people were saying, one of our friends even was saying, you know, the best teams have 2 of the best options in every position and that, you know, they'll just figure it out and they'll compete and whatnot. Well, right now, Liverpool started the season with the striker being nominated for the August Player of the Month. Now, he's sitting on the bench for the more expensive acquisition. Then there's Gyokeres, who's being misutilized as somebody who was a very front-footed defender and now looks scared to even pass him the ball on the field. Then there is using Gakpo. I'm not Gakpo, sorry. Well, they're using Gakpo like Salah, but they're not getting Salah output from him. And then they're using Bradley like his strength. Like, I kid you a lot of them. They are passing the ball to Bradley, and they're giving him space. Like if they expecting him to hit some diag on foot. And so there's a tactical flaw here and there's a player flaw here. And I want to know if you all are seeing that as well. How much of this blame that you all think falls on Slot's feet before we get into individuals and stuff, where you all think, if any at all, it lies at Slot's feet for this, not just this game, but the run on the whole. The kid go first now.
I can tell you this. I've been watching Premier League. I've been watching football a large percentage of my life, right?
John, on camera, just
It happened. I get it. I hit the table, dog. I get it.
I could.
John looking like Liverpool. John camera like Liverpool right now.
Topple over.
Off the top of the table.
No, boy. I've been watching football for a very long time, and I can't tell you how much times so much changes, especially in your defense. There's actually work immediately. That don't just happen. And on top of that, no, you're not playing them every week. So you're switching in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And now you're doing things like having midfielders playing right back. Like, this is not going to work. I don't know what the board thought it was. I mean, yes, getting all these great players in theory sounds good, but this is not FIFA. This is the Premier League. And those things usually don't tend to. You usually have to bred players in that. And people make it sound like if Prem fans just be like, this is the best league in the world because it's so hard to play in. But we just see it time and time again. You can't just drop great players in the Premier League, put them all together and work. It don't happen just like that. You need to actually bred players in. And that on top of Slot actually not knowing what to do, on top of, I think Liverpool has had a problem for a while now where they've been over-reliant on Salah. And Salah is not being Salah right now. So you're trying to find other places for the goals to come, and they're not coming because when he was Superman last year, even when they're playing bad, he would just find a goal. He would find an assist. He's not doing it anymore. Everybody needs to chip in now, and it's clearly to their detriment because even when Salah had bad games last year, the year before, he used to score. Bad games, he used to assist. It's not happening right now. He's not playing to his standard, and he's not chipping in with what he used to chip in with before, and it's clearly to the detriment. And what I would say on top of that is that I told you at the start of this season, Liverpool is going to concede a lot of counter-attacking goals. And almost every week, Liverpool concedes a goal where the other team win the ball, run up the road, and bust in it. It happens all the time now. I don't know what they decided was going to be their midfield situation, but it's not working out. I think it's not working out. Elite team, which is why they're still at the top of the table. But those small margins is why one team will win the league and one team won't.
Yeah. Brother.
Well, I mean, I wanted to take this from the player perspective because I know we're going to criticize Stott a lot, and he obviously deserves a lot of criticism for the tenant decisions that he's making. But a player I want to single out, and this might be a very unpopular thing to say. It could be because of the time of the recording, but I think Van Dijk is not getting a lot of criticism that he probably deserves, and I wanna compare him to somebody who he played against and Bruno. And Bruno has been very criticized since he's become captain of United, especially in games against Liverpool. And I think when you look at them today and throughout the entire season, right? Now, John, I know you've said that Van Dijk has been looking very solid for the entire season, right? But if the major problem is a defensive problem, and he is at the heart of the defense. And at some point you need to ask him to stand up as well. Like everybody gonna put it on Salah because he's not looking well. But what is he doing in the back? That is making them improve or in any type of way. And I mean, I also want to go back to something we talked about in the last pod. I feel like the level is not there, boy. Like it's just like there's no player I can see in the team right now that is emulating anywhere close to last season. Not even any of the new players that are coming, I think, are emulating that level. The only person that has so far is Ekitike. And for some reason, I think he's not in Stott's good book anymore after the red card for some reason. and I don't know what it is because he just doesn't start anymore. And the level is not there, boy. I mean, if John, I told you this last season, right? If the system is designed to give chances to players who are wasteful with chances, is the system good? That's a very simple question to me, and I think if everything fall into Gakpo and you keep in Salah wide to play Soboslai and McAllister closer to Isak, I just don't understand it, boy. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. It's like how to turn a good team bad. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, it shouldn't be this bad, right? Like, I mean, everybody doesn't think it should be this bad.
No, yeah, you're right. And I mean, yeah, you are right in the sense that like Van Dijk isn't getting blamed for all us going by. And some of it is reputation analysis, isn't it? Is that like we know that even when things are falling apart with that defense, that he usually still stands strong. But I do think that this game and the last game against Chelsea, that he did duck some criticism that he should have gotten, and the thing is, boy, is like I think Slot has, I'm not gonna say created a problem because I think my personal opinion is that the side that had a formula that went last year, that 11 was never coming into this season. And the reason I say that is like I think between Luis Diaz and Trent, both were kind of determined to go now for different reasons. Trent wanted a new experience, and Diaz wasn't getting paid what he wanted at Liverpool. And so from everything that we know from reported, they were determined not to give him that amount, given his age and whatever, and buying as well, which is fine. That's fine, right? But that's what the formula was last year, and that is gone. So he had to rejig it. I think that the way that they tried to rejig this thing by trying to make Salah play a more role and build up and to help create for others, because Salah created numbers last year was good. So he probably thought, okay, could lean into that a little bit for rejig the midfielder, try to bring in Wits, try and use other players and build up. But it hasn't been working. Now, at what point he was getting results, so they was getting to skid by not being overly harsh about these things, but it's not happening anymore. And now we're in a place where he's been actually tasked to correct the course that they're going on. And we are 4 games in, and no point in those 4 games and this loss can we really see that there has been a step forward to make an improvement. And next week, if it was to play City next week, we'd think that they'd have a better outing, From, if I remember correctly, I think Villa, they play next week, right? So, like, they could still win that. But, like, Villa all of a sudden pick up form, so you never know, right? But my point is like, we're not seeing anything changing to, as you pointed out, to say this individual is started to shine. This play, this particular move that they try a few times in the game, it's not tweaking. And that is why I wanted to have the slot convo before the individuals, because I can't see a plan that is trying to work across these games that's come to fruition now. And the thing is that with the exception of the Salahs and the Van Dijks and whatever, he is changing around the team. Different players are being used. He started from right wing in Galatasaray. He bring on from this weekend right wing again. He started Ekitike in Europe. He started Isak in the league. He's trying different things, but nothing is getting closer to working. And now part of it could be that he's chopping and changing too much. But I also kind of think he's trying to refine what they was doing last year. And I just think that is impossible. I'll probably refine it with a little difference, that he might think that Gakpo have a longer future here than Salah does and try to build him up or whatever. But it's not working, And I watched a video by JLA someday, and like he was saying, like, a big difference with this Liverpool side now compared to before is like you have a lot of players that are making runs for themselves and not for the betterment of the team. That because you have a bunch of forwards who all want to be the one to be getting on the end of moves to score, but nobody's making moves to try and create situations where the team can score. If I'm saying that right, with the exception of someone like Soboslai, who would make sacrificial runs to pull attention away. Like, everybody is moving just for the sake of their benefit, and so the team, it just not there. And I mean, we talked about Van Dijk just now, and he definitely deserves criticism. And like, I also felt coming out of this game too, like, I see he talking to the ref more than I see him actually impacting the game. It was more like him trying to manage what was going on than actually trying to play a part in what was going on the field. But I want to talk about Salah and this Isak situation. So I mean, we open up the case with Salah there. I agree that I don't think Salah is being used to his strengths, you know. But are we reaching that point then that if he's not going to be used to his strengths, he should be dropped? Now the answer is no, because he shouldn't be dropped, right? But I'm genuinely asking, does it make sense keep playing Salah if you're going and use him? Like he's someone from point, right? The from come on and within like 5-6 minutes playing like 3D shot cross in the box because he come out to play like that, right? He come out to play like that. So I'm genuinely asking, are we edging towards it might be better for the overall team if he's so not going and change his system or the way that he want to create to drop Salah? The question is there.
That's a hard question. How do you drop your best player and arguably one of the best players in the world?
Ever. Like one of your best players ever, bro. You know?
How do you just do that? You don't. But there's something to be said about not utilizing them properly. Because like I say, Salah, yes, is not playing. And based on what I would have said, right, Salah is not playing to the level we are accustomed seeing him play. But to you guys' point, he's also not in the positions that he was in last year or years gone by. Salah is like a touchline winger right now. A touchline winger that might cut in sometimes. That's crazy. If a man has been so clinical for so long, he's a touchline winger. And all teams do now, you double him up and let him pass it back. Talk done. Salah is out of the game. And that's crazy. So, I mean, Slot needs to figure it out. Because there's no way. I don't see it dropping Salah. You can't just drop Salah because if it do work and you don't have Salah, that's a bigger question mark in your thought process. So, you got to figure it out.
You see, Salik, before you answer, right, the reason I'm asking like this, right, is I'm seeing people online, they're talking about it in such a way like, oh, this is post-contract Salah, or he fall off, whatever. But like, he, with the exception of the Chelsea game, right, he not gaining these positions to impact the game. You know, and I don't think that is all down to some physical decline or something like that. He's never been this dribbling winger. He's never been that type of player. He's been close to box and been effective, but he's not gaining those positions, you know. But yeah, go ahead now.
But boy, well, the thing about Salah is right. Like, I want to make sure this comes off as not hater energy because it's not.
Yeah.
How to put this? I think Salah is like because I've watched every Liverpool game for the season so far, which has been some of them have been a grand waste of time if I'm being honest. Except for the hate watchers. So last 4 weeks have been very fruitful. But at Salah during the game, boy, I see him do some things and I'm like, okay, right. I see the player from last season, and then when it really matters, that's when I'm not seeing the player from last season, and I find like even today, right? There's the chance he missed when the ball fell to him and he just totally missed the ball. Didn't even hit the side netting. Yeah, and at that point I'm just like your head not in the game. Like I think what Slot needs to do, and I think this is what is a underrated aspect of managers that we don't talk about. I think he needs to protect Salah in the sense that like I don't think playing him to get out of form is going to do him any good. I think Slot needs to give him the time to get himself into the right space because it's very sad. Like people could laugh and say he's washed and whatever, but to me it's very sad because if you look at the player from last season to now, it's a huge drop. It's a huge gap between what we saw between last season and now. And I don't know, boy. I just feel like he needs some time, boy. I don't know how to describe it because he's not at the level at all. And I mean the rest of them are too. And I also want to pose a question to both of you. Let's say, because this is my thing at this moment in time. I think the correct combination of players is not what Slot thinks it is. So I think that if you want to play Woods, you have to play Isak. But Isak doesn't play good with Salah, but Salah plays good with Ekitike. And then you're worried about the left wing. And then you're worried about, okay, well, if I play in Woods, who are playing behind him? So it's too many spots for him to put players into, and then I feel like he just puts in square pegs and round holes at this point. Because as you say, Szoboszlai right back. Who is playing where? Who is the best left wing? Is Gakpo really the answer? I know Gakpo outside of the goal was pretty poor, you know. Like I don't know if you all saw the miss, but I'm sure Dickie saw the miss. The header was terrible. Like, jeez, I don't know, boy. It's so. I have sympathy for him, but I don't at the same time, because even from last season, the PSG game, all the Champions League games, the cup games, you really see when Slot has his own decisions to make, that's where he's faltering. And even last season, you saw that. And when it was in the league, because it was more of a Klopp side, it wasn't as easily penetrable. But no, that's where the problem is. And I don't know what's the answer, you know. I really don't. I know I'm talking along, and I'm really sorry, but
no, you're good, bro.
I don't know the answer, boy. I really don't. It's frustrating because all this talent, all this money, all this great play, and there's nothing to show for it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's the answer. I really don't. Nothing to show for it. Like they have so much points. They're still top 4 in the league. But at the same time, boy, like your eyes don't lie and the ball doesn't lie either. Like it's not looking good for them right now.
You know, for me, I thought Gakpo was unlucky today after he hit the post twice and then he scored, right? So I was like, yeah, bro, it was just one of them games where like you knock the door and you score. But then when he missed the header, dog, I was like, nah, you just being real unserious today then. Because that is real rubbish. Because he should have scored the first one, but like I don't necessarily think he do anything wrong. The second one he make on his own. So I was like, dog, fair enough, right? And then he scored. But that header, bro, that is real rubbish, dog. That is absolute rubbish. You have to score that, dog. You know?
And bro, to not even get it on target and you're unmarked in the box, boy, like I don't know how else. I don't know what else to say about that, boy.
Yeah.
And then Scott coming out with all his stupid quotes after the game.
Yeah, bro. It's like I'm not saying it just to be banter or stuff, but he really give it Ten Hag energy with some of these quotes that he giving out.
No. On a serious note, right? What is he on about when he says something like they started Sesko last week? They didn't start Sesko, they did that against us. What are you doing? The teams change players. What have you been watching? What have you been playing? What have you been managing?
Slot went through every single predicted lineup on the internet and saw Sesko in all of them and said, yes, that is it.
And then he just kind of like it was like
he's like
what?
How dare you?
You could do that? No. It's like you want to take a ban or like you want to forfeit the game because Sesko didn't start. Like what are you on about? Yes, teams change players based on who they play. Big whoop.
For what it's worth, right? Last year, Liverpool had a left back who was in the 91st percentile for ball progression. They had a right back who was in the 100th percentile shot for ball progression. That was for context, right? You all want to guess where their fullbacks rank in ball progression now?
Wait, hold on. What is Yesar Robertson was 96th percentile for ball progression?
91st.
Oh, 91st. Okay, that's more believable. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, no, you saying that, but he said 100%. That means literally nobody was better than Trent. There was no one better than Trent.
Yeah, I 100% believe that.
No, but it's just crazy. It's just crazy to like just say it out loud.
No,
Nikhil,
I'm glad you brought it up. Hold on, sorry. I'm glad you brought it up, right? Because when you see statistics like that, those things are hard to run away from. Because you're like, if there's nobody better in the league than him, then how are you compensating for losing the best in the league at something?
Facts.
And this is why last week on the pod, I am getting upset about this, and it's not just because I like Trent, because I do like Trent. I've never hit that, but it's the blatant lying of how they have acted like he is nothing to replace, That is what has upsetted me at my core, dog. We see this man take balls that just happen to bounce out the box and a half volley and put men through on goal, but acting like if he's nothing to replace him. Nah, bro, Wirtz will come in and it'll be completely fine and whatever.
It's not the same. It's not the same. Yeah,
no, Keita said she'll call the man Ben 10 because it's 0010.
I call him binary man, bro.
Dog. But so yeah, but yeah, ask the question about the lineup, right, and the right combination. I don't know, but this does also come back to like how it is that this squad being built, and like another slight tactical thing that absolutely confused me today. And the only reason I'm not going so hard with it is because literally 2 minutes into the game, he got a head injury, right? But once again, McAllister was poor today, right? We know that, right? And there's some grace because the man got a head injury, right? But I don't know if all you noticed this, right? Them just leave Gravenberch. Like the other two midfielders went up in the block, or when United was sitting deep, and just leave the man. Nobody tried to show to help the man build up in it. And McAllister is supposed to be the one who's good at deep play and building up. What he doing quite there? The last player that I really want to focus on is this Isak Gyokeres thing. And again, we were told in the summer that is not a problem, it won't be a problem, they'll share the games, whatever. But games not being shared in it. And you're right, Salih. It could be that I didn't watch it like that, but you're so right. That it could be that Slot is upset about the red card and is being and punishing him a little bit, right? While subsequently trying to get Isak up to fitness. But guess what, brother? You take your one attacker who has been firing this season, and he made a very stupid mistake getting sent off. And I'm not saying no, very, very stupid. It was very unnecessary. But you take your one attacker, and now you're benching him, and you're forcing Isak to play, and he can't even finish in front of goal if given chances at this point. That one where he run through. Tell me if I am lying, Olia. Last year, in a black and white shirt, when he run through, he faked the shot, cut it back, finished with his left foot, turn around, watch Maguire, hit him so. But instead now, tell people doing, he's sort of able to come off the field. Somebody coming on player now.
Oh no.
That is what is going on. And it's like, he is not a right balance is being struck here. And it's crazy to think, like, in isolation, you would think, well, yeah, bro, we'll just play whoever's in form. He's consistently playing the more... I was watching it more as, Isak is the more expensive player, innit? Whether we like it, and Prem proven, whatever. So he had the pedigree over the man. And what it looked like to me, but until Salih gave me a different perspective there, was just like, yeah, well, Isak is the one who is the man, innit? So he got get it until it completely destroyed them, but he got to keep getting chances to line up in front. I mean, I'm not sure who the other player in Europe. It might be somebody that he would sack Ekitike for, but that way it looked like to me. Isak is a big name. Oh, he get Ekitike all side and he gets started. He gets started for that one.
Did you see what I sent in the group?
Good one.
Doug, it have a picture of this fella and he posts a picture of a basketball rim. He say, I just drop the room and pretend I'm LeBron for 2 hours. And the caption is, Wirtz playing Bundesliga opponents.
Why you like this?
But yeah, guys, the Isak Ekitike, he just not getting it right, bro. And the funny thing is that Ekitike gets some on now, but after they have no momentum really left in some of these attacks, and it's like, well, what is he really going to do? And we're not even touching on the fact that Florian Wirtz is a bench player at this point in time, man. Like nobody is no lineup arguments against Florian Wirtz, the second most expensive transfer of all time, has been benched in consecutive big games. Can I just
say one thing about the Wirtz? I know I've said a lot about Wirtz, and I don't want to.
Wait, before you say it, I just want to say one last thing on Wirtz. these men real baby anyone. And you know why? You know why I'm saying that too? Is because I see the man do one fake in the box. One fake. The ball ain't go nowhere after that. All he do was stop the ball from going to the line when he make it like he's got cut it back one time. And I hear the commentator say, what a move by foot. I'm like, what we doing here? Though? Like, what we really doing?
Bro, listen. You could say what a move about a men in a chess game too, you could say the same thing.
Wow.
I really changing much,
Wow.
But no, what I want to say is, right, John, I just want to reinforce your point there. Like I remember I said a few weeks ago, those kind of price tags come with a lot of weight, and it's not WAIT, it's WEIGHT, and that's really what it is for him. And what I hate about this whole words thing, boy, and I have been guilty of it myself. Everybody keeps saying when he comes good, but I'm gonna ask the question, when is when? When is when?
Thanks.
Nobody can tell me when is when. Nobody can say when they think he's gonna come good. They just say when he does come good. But there is no evidence of that so far in anything across, even outside the Premier League. There's no evidence of that. So I don't know, but I like the man as a player. But holy crap, he's not living up to it at all.
So, Patrick told me last night he think Germany can win the World Cup.
We are going to win the World Cup.
Well, you're talking about a German fan there. So.
I forget that one.
Yeah. You're not gonna get no pushback here. Man, chapter's dead, but
all right, guys. So let me get so here what all I want to do is we take 2 players from here and 2 players from the Bournemouth game. Or 3 players from the Bournemouth game. 3 players from the Bournemouth game then.
I would rather we take the 3 men for the Bournemouth game.
Good,
I would
no
like
problem.
to put forward my candidate for this game. It is Sir Harold Slabhead Maguire.
No, fair. I was gonna say Maguire, but could I just say who was my second player just so I could get it off my chest?
Sure.
I generally was very, very impressed with Luke Shaw today. Now, part of that is because I haven't seen this whole year, so I was thinking I'm back with how good he was today. Dog, it had the one where he was running back to goal, and he shield the man, turn around, I play on the back, I say, what? You still had that in your locker, right?
Luke Shaw is frustrating because Luke Shaw could do that, and then Luke Shaw could be the absolute worst player you've ever seen in your life. He's very frustrating.
Yeah,
all right, guys. Cool.
Do you have any was Maguire a candidate to keep?
Yeah, that'd be Maguire, to be honest. Maguire is a man monster.
Yeah, I thought about was really good, He would be my second,
you don't know how good I feel about sorry. You don't know how good I feel about Mbeumo hitting. This is literally man I wanted. We bought him and he's hitting. Oh my lord. I feel vindicated.
Dog, I watched some stuff from Lyles today, and he was saying that Maguire has reached cult hero status at United. And you feel like so far?
That's too far because
he scored plenty important goals.
He scored very important goals, yes. But for me, Bruno is a cult hero.
But everything Bruno achieved, Maguire achieved too.
Yeah, but Bruno has been our best player for every single year he's been there. Maguire literally was good, was very bad, and when get back good again. He's just he's a very good player for United, but cult hero status. Cult hero, as in United fans are going to remember Maguire for the rest of their lives. Yeah. And I'm a Maguire fan.
Yeah, I do think Maguire has one of the best redemption stories of a United player, though. I mean, I don't want to compare him to Beckham, but I think he's had a lot. He's had a lot.
Guys, I just want to say, conversations on a podcast at 12:30 a.m. leads to Maguire and Beckham being mentioned in the
same sentence.
But hey, look, you was talking about being the best player every season he's been there. You know, somebody's also been the best player every season he's been at his club. It's Erling Braut Haaland. And once again, dog, let me tell you how unfortunate my life is, right, dog? I had to deal with treble Man City. Then I had to deal with Ballon d'Or Rodri. Then I had to deal with Salah having his greatest season ever. And now I have a Haaland who decided, oh, Salah, you had the greatest season ever. Bet. Hold my beer, guys. And decided to go out and tear this here. And throughout the entire season, he has been inevitable. There is literally nothing more else to say. At this point, he might be a permanent inclusion in the team of the week. But, like, there's nothing else to say. I mean, there was some lapses defensively from them on the day, but Everton just couldn't take advantage. That Beto missing for the goal was absolutely criminal. And but besides that, nothing else really I had to say from the game. Salih, anything you want to add?
No, not really. I mean, I just put in the sentiments of Haaland. Like, Jesus, he's just too good. Like, I don't know if you saw this debate, John. They have this new debate on this new this new trendy debate. Haaland, Kane, or Mbappe.
Haaland,
Rank them from 1 to 3.
Bro, I mean,
just a bunch of nonsense. What's the question you're asking me? Like, you want me to rank them? Who I would take if I build in my team? Why would I not take all 3 of them in my team if I wanted them?
I was all together, having all 3 of them work together, really, and true.
Yeah, no, yeah, for real. But dog, I just want to say one thing. Like, Haaland, this is not. You said Ballon d'Or Rodri, and this and I've always held the opinion that Haaland had a Ballon d'Or season, season that season, and he looks even better than he did that season. This season, does. And I don't know, boy. I just feel like a lot of people are talking about City, the rest of the team not contributing, right? But I feel like people are not taken into the fact that the rest of the team is actually playing to let Haaland score, and they have been achieving that for the entire season. And if that is the goal, and you win games because of that, they're doing great so far. And I don't think a lot of people had them where they are right now. If I'm being honest with you, I like to hear what you have to say because Man City.
So the kill.
Haaland is Haaland. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it's quality one. We're talking about Haaland scoring goals. I was like, yeah.
No, it's true though. I mean, the only pushback I'll say to that, Brandon, is that if it is that it comes at a game where Haaland doesn't score or he score one and the other team outscore them, then all the other players will come into focus for the fact that he has how much goals he have this season? 11?
11. Well, 11 in the league, yeah.
Nobody else in the team has more than one. And that would come into focus the day that he doesn't score. But
it has happened already for the season, but they lost to Brighton now.
Right, and I would prefer though that is the conversation rather than the conversation be something like, "Oh, why Haaland didn't score 2 this game or 3 this game?" Like, come on, bro. Like, somebody pick up some kind of slack now, please. But yeah, cool, nice Haaland in the team. Next up,
hold on before we go, I just want to point out there that Haaland is now halfway there to Jamie Vardy's goals in consecutive.
Yeah, boy.
He's currently at 6. Which he has been before, but
it would be a travesty if you broke that.
I mean, would you be surprised though?
I wouldn't be surprised, but
it would be a travesty.
Yeah.
So he has so many other records though. He can leave Vardy with this one, though.
Yeah.
He really could, eh? He could at least tie it. He got to break it. He could just tie it,
Yeah. We can live with that. All right, next up is there are teams that are addicted to winning. There's teams that are addicted to losing. See Liverpool. But there are also teams that are addicted that no matter the circumstances, to leave with somebody in some shape or fashion getting sent off. And that is Chelsea Football Club. That no matter what they do, somebody has to leave the pitch or leave the sidelines in Maresca's case last week. And this time it was Gusto. He was the next one to take one for the team. But it was shaky first half from what I saw, but a really strong start to the second half and went on to further it later on in the game. But Salih, I shouldn't talk about Chelsea over Euro, so why don't you tell us what you took from this game?
Well, I mean, if anybody looked at the starting lineup, not full of the main starters that we usually have. We not in a crisis at the moment, but we have a lot of our main players out. I think it's very good when you have a team that could still perform even when you have some of those key players out. Enzo didn't play at all. Caicedo only played in
Yeah,
the second half. Palmer didn't play. Delap is still out. Um, uh, I mean, Estevao came on. You know, it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of things. Other things going on. Badiashile, we didn't have Badiashile as well. So you know, there's a lot of things going on. But I think like it is again good
nice.
good character shown by the team, by the players, and you know, shout out Reece James, bro. I think Reece James is like back to his best. I think like you know whatever Maresca has done with him, I can't thank him enough because he's gotten him back to where every Chelsea fan wants to see him. And
I think that is the biggest. I mean, not the shadow over the two trophies the man win with Chelsea, yeah. But that is the biggest accomplishment for me, dog. The fact that he get Reece fit and playing weekly and playing well. I also thought Reece would be the one I want to put in the team.
Yeah, I was gonna say that'd be my pick out. I also want to say one thing though. I feel like a lot of people getting on the João Pedro because he's not scoring, and rightfully so because he's not we didn't buy him to you know just play well. But I feel like he's doing a lot of good work, and I feel like he plays a lot better when he has a striker in front of him, and I think we're learning that like slowly as the season progresses. So I feel like his entire role might change as the season goes on. Just want to put that out there.
Less about Chelsea, but more about the fact that Ange Postecoglou is going to heel.
Sack 90 minutes after the game, you know.
What do you think about Ange getting sacked, boy? I mean, I don't think we had you on since he was hired, but I used to tell you how fast he was hired and how fast he going.
Yeah.
But I always felt like it was a very weird appointment. And as of the time we're recording, it does look like my boy is back in the Premier League. Sean Dyche is going to take over Forest, which I think is more suited to the group that they have there. But yeah, what you had to say about Ange being sacked?
I mean, it probably was a weird appointment in the first place. I know that Nuno and the owner had some kind of beef, but I feel like a lot of it was pride on the owner's part. A lot of it had to be pride. A lot of it had to be pride on the owner's part because why would you? A team that overachieved in the previous season is still playing well in the current season. Your manager clearly doesn't like something or something that he believes that could improve the team, make the team better, or sustain the level that they were at. He doesn't like, and you're not assisting him. I feel like it's some kind of level of pride for you to be like, yeah, go. And then to go and pick up Ange, who some may say Ange was relatively successful in the sense of he was able to implement a system that was able to be not successful, but he was able to execute in his idea what his plan is, which is to score a lot of goals and be on the front foot all the time. However, you brought in a manager that was conceding a lot of goals into a team that probably needs somebody who's a little bit less gun-ho all the time. And he come in and he lose every single game.
He didn't win any. I think he drew one.
Yeah, he didn't win any, but I think he drew off like 2.
Yeah, that's Frank de Boer numbers there.
What's the name of the club that Rashford scored 2 on his debut against? Not in the Prem. I'm aware of who they are.
As Arsenal Football Club.
What in Europe they killed?
Midget land
or something. Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, Angelo lost 3-2 to them.
Yeah, at some point, bro, just gonna take a sabbatical, relax yourself, you know. Stay with your wife, enjoy, like go on a vacation, do something. Because Prem is not for you. At least right now.
Yeah.
It was too soon. Bad appointment and too soon.
The next one I want us to go on to is because we started the record a long now, but Spurs versus Villa. I only saw the highlights of this one, but I mean that second goal. I mean, Villa 2 goals was great for two different styles of goals, but were very, very good goals. I know you watch Brandon, so just give us the synopsis and tell us who you want to put
Bro,
forward.
let me tell you the synopsis of that second goal. Matty Cash's pass. Mwah. The take from Dini. Mwah. And the finish from
Yeah.
Buendia. Mwah.
Mm.
It was brilliant, bro. Amazing. That's one of the goals of the season, bro. Bro, I still trying to understand. I never knew Matty Cash had that kind of
Had that
ball.
in his look, man.
Yeah, dog.
Never. I could see Dini taking out an insane ball, but you see that pass,
Yeah.
boy? Oh my goodness. And
He look
bro,
like Trent.
Aston Villa 5 games in a row they won.
I was dog. I say that now. They win 5 games in a row, dog.
Yeah.
And I was mistaken.
Crazy.
Villa actually playing City next weekend at Villa. Yeah.
Oh
So that should
no.
be a good watch.
Oh, no.
Who you want to put forward for this one? It don't have to be one of the goal scorers, but if it or assist.
I was really going to put Rogers there because Rogers was very good in the game. So
Yeah, and I think Rodgers finally started to catch back some form. You know?
finally.
And I think I was talking to somebody about this week, but like I think he have a good shot of being in the World Cup squad next year, because I think looking at what Tuchel has been doing, players that have been consistently going to his camps, I think have a better chance than players who might be bigger names or play for bigger clubs. So one to watch. But I totally cool with Rodgers. And the last of the big 6 games is the table topping Arsenal as they won away to Fulham. And we took 3 bogey fixtures in a row that last year. We are glad to love 1 point from away to Newcastle, home to West Ham, and away to Fulham. This year is 9. That's
9, yeah.
Yeah, significantly better to around. And I want to say this though, that like obviously it's a set piece that won it and stuff, right? And whatever it is behind it. I've said this before. I love it because I love the fact that people like the Keel and everybody else is a victim of it. They sit down there and quake when it is that we get set pieces because they feel like it is inevitable that it's not going. But the other thing that I want to say is that like if you did watch the game, there's this player called Bukayo Saka who was absolutely fantastic for the entirety of the game. And he was one of only like 2 players that I think was not taking the Mickey when they reached the final too. And if this was our case where there was last season, and I agree this did happen last season, where it was set pieces to bail out bad open play performances, then it'll be a concern. But I think that we are seeing consistently that this team is creating way more from open play. It's just players are taking the Mickey in the final third. And games look closer. And closing all games look closer when it is players not taking their chances. And that is more case of what's going on. And so, what I really wanted to ask Brandon is if you want to ask me that same question you asked me last time we talked about Arsenal. Because I had a little rant yesterday though, because our line, that specific player get my real mad this weekend. Yeah, it's the funny thing. He get shots I think this weekend, but do you want to ask it? Do you want to ask that question?
Well, I mean, I might as well because it's been a week, so
Well,
I'd like to know what brought about this change of heart.
Well, it's not necessarily change of
You
heart.
keep
but
talking about
yesterday-
Gyokeres, by the way.
I could have told. I could have told. I
But
could have told.
It yesterday really upset my boy, and it does lend into this whole thing that I'm talking about of like games feel closer when players not taking their chances, right? And he had 3 shots in the game, 2 was on target, and 1 that was absolutely horrendous miss, right? And that's outside of the moments where he not getting to his spots. And I still objectively am at the place where I do think that he is getting gassed out in games. He's not at the fitness level required. And that once he gets some rest, it should be better. And we talk about this a little bit with Salah, right? Of being taken out the fire line again, a chance to kind of catch yourself and then go back in, right? But I could only talk about what I'm seeing. And dog, I can't lie, for somebody that I was sold on the package of that, he's this god man and that, he will finish most of the chances that he's getting. Between this weekend, Olympiacos and the Newcastle game, he's had 16 shots. There's no goals to show for it. And the thing is, I can ask any of you all to go and watch those 16 shots. I'm promising you, not one of them you're going to watch and be like, wait, boy, the keeper was just on one today. The keeper stop that chance, whatever it is, It's not like this is high quality shots. And right now, as of October 2025, that is allowed to evolve later on, I feel like we are giving up, or there's a trade-off rather, but Kai not even fit now. So I guess this kind of null and void. But we were told that this is going to be an upgrade, or that's what I was told, that it's going to definitely be an upgrade. And I'm losing basic hold-up play, basic link play with runners, presence in the box, aerial threat, because he's an insistent runner and will try his best to get shots off. But his shots not even that high quality. And if it is he was scoring, I could then write off the fact that every single time he tried to muscle a defender, it looked so labored that they'd probably given him the foul out of pity than anything else. Then fine, I'll write it off. But I don't even gain the goals. Dog, this man went out on the channel with Ryan Sessegnon. Dog, he's probably Patrick height. And muscling this man, dog. Like, that's an obsessive thing to see. And that really upset me. Because imagine, dog, all you can tell me if I lied, But Saka was on one this weekend, playing so good. And this man doing absolutely nothing when he get the ball, or too slow to do anything when he get the ball. And it's like, dog, with October.
Let me pose that question to you then. Because we could all see the technical floor, maybe even the technical ceiling is not there, right?
Yeah. That's given.
If you all remember, clearly, that is not the striker that Arteta initially went for. It was not Gyokeres. It was Sesko. A player who clearly has a certain technical flow. And even when he doesn't score, he seems to be very involved in the game and able to do things. For want of a better phrasing, he could play football. Sesko could play football. What do you think went into I guess the big switch to Gyokeres instead?
Well, let me answer the question, my friend, because I have the answer for you.
He doesn't have the
answer. I know
John
is going to get upset about this. But if I will send you the video, because Mr. Arteta came out and said it himself. He said that he had a discussion with Gyokeres and he signed him and he told him that he expects him to be a striker that is able to not score for a few games and is not going to go to his head. John, you can't tell my line because that's exactly what he said. And he said that in the interview. So he knew when he bought Gyokeres that's exactly what was going to happen.
What that had to do with the key question, though? The key, does that answer your question? Exactly. I don't see what has to do with the question.
To be fair, I understand the direction he's going, right? He's basically saying Arteta make the switch. He was like, Arteta he decided, forget let's go. I want this guy. But he already knew beforehand Gyokeres is going to not be scoring to the level of what I guess we should have expected him to score at.
Well, I think anybody who was expecting him to score at the rate he was going before was out of pocket.
No, obviously not that. But you still didn't expect what he's doing right now. My
answer to the question that I asked, right, is that when it is that Birds came in and all the needs came apparent because we made 8 signings, is that it's cost budgets that went into these things, right? Like, look how much you all paid for him for Sesko compared to what we paid for Gyokeres, right? In euros, it was 63 for Gyokeres compared to it could reach 90 with Sesko now, and a big gap in valuation there. And when you look at how many signings Arsenal said that they had to make,
And
I don't think he would have. I don't think that he would have predicted that Kai would have been missing for the start of the season because he was training in preseason like normal and thing, right? It's only the contact injury that have him out this whole time, and so I think the plan has always been that Gyokeres was signed for a relatively cheap compared to most of the centre forwards that went to the summer, right?
This is
So I
correct.
don't think that he come in there to be that it have to be that he had to be the short starter every single week. You know, that it could have been Kai one, could have been Kai this week, could have been him the next week, and they would have compete for that starting spot now. Boy. That is how I have viewed it now. And
Okay.
so,
Well, let me
but
ask
that
you
has
this then.
been taken away because the man not fit now.
Okay, well, let me ask you this then, because this is a conversation we would have had with how United go about signings, and I would have you would pose a question to me like why we wouldn't buy this player, and I would say things like um buying a certain type of player, like say a midfielder, you need a midfielder. Not buying a midfielder at the point in time you ask the question is not valid yet until one, the window's closed and we see who we actually
Yeah.
finish with,
For
right?
sure.
Is there something to be said about, okay, for example, not going for Sesko, let's just say, right? Not going for Sesko first and then just not getting a player like Norgard or Mosquera, something that you could probably say you don't necessarily need to get something that is clearly going to upgrade the team in theory over, like say,
So
forget your careers, you get a player like Sesko that
no,
clearly
I get what you're
seems to
saying.
have fit what Arsenal is doing.
Bro, if it is like I take out how much we spent for Norgard and probably add like 2 million more, you get closer to the price that like Wolfmada went for and Ekitike went for. And
Right.
both of them are players that I think have a higher technical floor than what Gyokeres is offering, right?
Right.
And Norgard is the only sign that we make that I could say we probably didn't need that one. You know, because I think everybody else across the season would end up playing a lot. You know, because there's a lot of competitions and we try to win as many things as we can, right? And so every other position, somebody is one of two players as an option there. And I think, because like you bring up Mosquera, right? Bro, watch how Gabriel and Saliba both had injuries already for the season, and he had to step in, you know, and we already see the need there, or they need a Madueke to step in for Saka, or Eze need when because Odegaard out, or just to play left wing in general. So like,
Yeah.
I think every signing was needed. I think Nogard was being a bit extra, but that is the only one I could say nah, you know. But then I could say that, and then God forbid we have an injury there now, and then he end up playing more, you know, and then it looks different now. And so I get that side of it too, you know. But like I also don't think this question would have been the way that it was if Kai was fit. I generally don't think so. But again, you talk about that Kai fan, right? You know, and never hide
Is
that
that not
either.
in itself the concern though?
What's that?
That if Havertz was fit, we wouldn't be having this discussion, because that is the whole point, right? Like the man went on strike to join your life. Like I feel like people forgetting that he had a big onus on him to come here and perform.
On
right?
top of
Like,
the expectation that Arsenal
top
are
of-
going to buy a gunman in whatever
Correct.
form to
Correct.
Yeah,
And
but-
then,
line.
hold
Yeah,
on,
but
John,
wait.
I want to make this clear, right? I want us to be as honest about Gyokeres as we've been about everybody else, right? Like it's funny that he could still be Liverpool's top scorer that in the league. That's hilarious in my opinion, right? But at the same time, right, what he has been brought in to do and what he did to make this move happen and the entire change that the club is making for him,
It's
right?
not working for him.
Not only is it not working, right? He's not holding up his end of the bargain, because
I agree.
Everybody is doing everything for him,
And it's not working.
and it's
I
not
agree.
working, and
I agree.
that is on him and that's on the manager. So if your thing is that if Kai was here, we would not be having this discussion. That is still an issue in my opinion, because he should be fighting Havertz to be the starting striker. That should not be a debate in my opinion.
Wait,
because
I agree that latter part, but what part of this on Arteta? Because it's not like to say he's not getting chances to do the thing he's supposed to do. I'm asking, what part of this is on Arteta?
you just said that if Kai was fit, we would not be having this discussion of whether he's performing or not, right?
Because I don't think it would have evolved the way that it had. Because I don't think that the last week before we went into international break. He's the only player that played 90 minutes at every single game after not getting preseason, right? I think he would have got a better chance to get up
because
to
of his
speed.
choice.
Yes, because of his choice. The same way that Isak had a whole flame for missing preseason and now taking an eternity to look like above average footballer. The same way Gyokeres had to take flame, right? But neither Slot never tell a man to go on strike, and nobody tell Gyokeres, Arteta didn't tell Gyokeres to go on strike. You know, they didn't tell these players to do that now, boy. But behind the speed, right? Now, because of how circumstances unfold, is that there's a greater demand on him faster than if it was that if he had get built up through the first half of the season, and if whoever is more in form in the second half of the season just play more, you know. But the situation evolved as the way that it did, you know. But systematically, nothing is going wrong to stop him from scoring because he's getting the chances to score. And there's nobody else really to rotate out with him. And when we could sub him, we are trying to sub him. But to me, he is slow to a lot of the spots that he should be getting to. Outside the fact that like he's technically not there. Like that's been known, right? But he's slow to these spots to get where he needs to get to get even more chances and hopefully to score. And he's learning things like he need to get shots so fast and stuff like that. But I'm saying this to say, like, if it is that you get asking a tired man to keep running, he's not getting any more fit in it. He's just still getting more and more progressively tired. And he's playing more minutes than anybody else right now. Because he's the one player in the one spot I don't have no other option for. Because I promise you, if we come here on a pod some week and Marino started up top, it's a high eruption and thing. You know, man, I want to hear that.
You know you're getting that though. You know you're getting that sometime during this season, you know that.
I don't care, dog. I truly don't care. Dog, injuries is
John, you don't care that your marquee striker signing isn't scoring.
Yeah, but you see, it's the phrase, and that is where I have the problem with, because I don't see him as marquee. Because my view, not now, has always been, I don't think striker is make or break for Arsenal. I have always said that signing a striker was not make or break. I've always been of the opinion there's tapes to prove this, there's tweets to prove this, there's messages to prove this. I just needed somebody to share minutes with Kai in it. And whether it was as good as Kai or better, great. We better for it. But somebody to at least, because I take Madueke, right? You know, Madueke come in and he take minutes off Saka. That is enough for me, you know, so that Saka could stay fit. And it's the same thing with Kai. Because I think that there's enough data to prove, and then there's the eye test to prove that Kai can play whole season for me, dog, and I think we'll win the league. I think he'll do more than enough in front of goal once he get enough chances to finish, and he will score. You know? This man had 35 goals and assists for us in 50 games. And yes, I know he's had terrible misses too. So there needs to be another option there when he isn't working. But the problem has been is that ever since Kai moved into strike, there has never been another option. And so all I have ever asked was for another option there. Because either he is who stay ACL or whatever it is. You know?
But like,
I hear that. I hear you, John. But
I see where you and I have a difference in opinion. But
I hear what you're saying, right, John? But like two things, right? One, I think the way you're saying it is how you view Arsenal. In the grand scheme, I think there's a general understanding or consensus. Arsenal still needs somebody who could stay on top and bury chances, because the fine margins at the end of the season of them not being able to score like the one or two chances is the reason why they're not winning the league. Which is why they would have went out to go and get I want two things, right? Go and get a striker. Gyokeres end up being a striker. So there is some, to Brandon's point, there is some level of issue when you say you didn't expect it, but in general, Gyokeres is supposed to be the man. For him to not be the man and it be interchanging with Havertz should be a problem, because that's the man you was expecting to be the ultimate goal.
No,
I know, I understand that, but we're not talking about you.
No, but what I say is that
understanding.
But I say I can't try and justify what somebody who was a Gyokeres fan was coming into the season thinking that he's gonna come and bang down the door.
No, but we're talking about football as a conversation on it in its whole. Not you can't. Okay, there are things that you can't pose to me because I don't necessarily believe, I can't
No,
post it
but
to Brandon, but
Nikhil,
that's the general conversation of the club.
two weeks into the season, I had messaged you about the same Kai finishing thing, right?
Yeah,
And I remember telling you, dog,
and I agree.
right? No. But this is what I say was my problem coming into the season. That problem was solved, and so as far as I'm concerned, whether it works out, this Gyokeres who finishing it, or Kai or Timbuktu or whoever it is, I couldn't be bothered, right? My issue coming into this season was that Arsenal under Arteta has consistently been in like the top three in terms of finishing rate in the league. You know, XG versus their actual goals. But it is a chance created. It used to be like 6th and 7th and thing, right? Now last season was real bad because million injuries and our best creator just wasn't there, right? But we went out signed Eze, we signed Zubamendi, we signed depth for Saka so that he could keep staying fit. And you know what is the result of that, guys? We created a bucket load more. What I like for it to be that we scoring more from overplay, well, no duh, right? But the core problem of what I'm asking for to be addressed was addressed. Now, does it get to the point that we drop points because Gyokeres is the one getting chances and not finishing? Then sure. But because Arsenal is the team that they are and has threats from every single facet of the game, that we have other ways of scoring too. And that is where set pieces has come in, you know? And so we get things over the line that way as well. But because like there's literally goals from every single part of this team, that and creation from very parts, I am less worried about a striker coming to score goals because like people just fixate on misses, bro. And that has annoyed the living hell out of me when it is that like we have one chance for a man and that he don't score it, you know? Or it's a case where a player is clearly burnt to exhaustion, but because we've had crippling injuries and he playing right through, and then he doesn't execute because he collapsed the game before that, and then the next game he missed it. Like, what are we doing here now, boy? But I've said this with Haaland like a million times, you know? Like Haaland technique when it comes to finishing isn't always where it should be, but the man is a demon at getting more opportunities, you know. And so obviously we don't have Haaland. We already went close to Haaland. There's some people who believe Gyokeres is supposed to be like Haaland. Well, this is the worst copy I could have ever asked for. But the same principle maintains of that. Create more chances for your players, and eventually the highest level of players will score. You don't. I truly believe that whether Gyokeres come good or not, like forgetting him from the equation, everybody else in this group, you know, with Trossard who scored this weekend. We even talk about the one, and he's the one that scored the winner this weekend. But Trossard and Saka and Eze and Martin, you know that he has some down competition and finding Shame or Odegaard and whoever else. These guys will finish. These guys will score. And I have faith in them to score, even if it don't work out for Gyokeres, isn't it? Because he could be a flop dog and we're going to win the league. You feel I care? I don't care. You know? It can come the end of the season.
To that point, remember I said, and tell a second part of it, right?
Yeah,
why I feel it's slightly. I hear what you're saying. I understand your viewpoint, but it's slightly disingenuous in the grand scheme of the conviction of Arsenal and a striker, because let's say, for example, we bring it to Liverpool, right? And we bring it to Woods. Liverpool didn't necessarily, really and truly, Liverpool don't need Woods. They don't. They didn't need Woods. If Liverpool did not buy Woods, you wouldn't say, hey, Liverpool have a creation problem. You wouldn't really say that, other than probably Trent. But really and truly, you're not going to say there's this glaring hole in Liverpool's team if they didn't go and get Florian Wirtz. However, he is here. He was bought to do something, and he's not executing to the level that was expected of him. To now say that on the flip side, well, they didn't really need him. We didn't really need him for that. So it's calm. It's kind of like, no, you can't say that because that's your bottom for a reason. He's playing and he's not doing it. Similarly, Gyokeres is bought for a reason. He's playing and he's not doing it.
I mean, I get where you're going in it, but like, and I also know that you're making an extreme point to make what is your point?
I don't even think that's an extreme point. I think that's a very a very
Nah, it
straightforward
is
and
extreme
honest
though,
point.
because even for the fact that I hate on Gyokeres, I think the man actually scored on. You know, he already like wasn't even do nothing yet. But Gyokeres has actually scored goals already, you know. But and players like
How much
Isak
goals
have
is
not.
that?
He has 3 goals in the league.
How much
I
goals
have a
is it?
question.
One is
we
the
don't-
penny hop from Dortmund, but we ain't going to talk about.
So I was gonna ask, right? So if it is that he had scored, if he had taken the pen last game week and Saka didn't, the conversation would be different because he had a goal.
No, it'll be exactly the same. I don't know.
No.
The goals are not
Yeah,
the
I don't think
problem.
it'll be.
Exactly.
The goals is
But
not
that's
the
the
problem.
point though.
What is your point?
That is not so much about the output, but he still has some output. It's about everything else around.
No,
it,
no,
you know?
the fundamental disagreement we have here is that you arguing it from what your opinion and
What
and
my
I'm trying to tell you
expectation
is
of him was.
yes, and what I'm telling you is that there is a general idea of the player and what he came in to do when he was signed. The expectation is very high, and even though you're saying that you're being critical of him, I feel like you're not understanding the grand scheme of the criticism, because at some point this will become a problem. That is my point about it. Because if you saying that Havertz is going to come back and he's going to bench Gyokeres, then to me that is an issue that nobody's addressing yet, and eventually
How
we'll
is
get
the
to it.
issue? How
So
is the
you
issue?
tell him here. So okay. So do you think if Havertz was playing now, if Gyokeres would have been playing the same, you would have been playing better, you'd be playing worse?
If Havertz was fit now, I think
Yeah.
we'd have seen him. I would think we'd have seen Gyokeres playing better by now. I think he'd have.
So you
he'd have
think
better chance.
you think Havertz in the team or available to be selected will make him a better player?
Yes, I do. Because
And then,
again,
and then
one
you
of
still
my
think Havertz will start over him?
I think is competing. My choice is Kai because I like Kai though, right? But I think it was that both of them had equal enough rank going into the season that they fight it out, and whoever play better will get more minutes at the end of the day. But I also am acknowledging that he come from behind the ball when it comes to fitness, and he still moves like somebody who is too slow to the pace of the league, and he's not getting a chance to stop and sit down and catch us up. Also, then when he go for international break, he playing the whole 90 minutes as well. You know? And so you're asking a man who is feeling unfit to keep running more and more and more. He not gonna feel any better in those moments until he get a chance to actually sit down and catch himself. That is why I'm saying that I think Kai would have helped the overall picture. That he would have given the man a chance to sit down, come on for the last 20 minutes in some games, or come off earlier in some games and build up his fitness progressively. You know, but he's not getting a chance to do that because we don't have any other option that wouldn't cause an uproar if he didn't start in games. You know, because again, if it is that other than start Marino or even start Trossard up top or something, man, would that trip out? You see where we trip out now, man, would that trip out then? Even if he get a result, they that trip out still. Because again, he's got none right. So, including play in a way that the striker does get chances, even though he's not taking them. So.
My hot take is that Gyokeres. Well, this conversation we have here, Gyokeres is doing the exact same thing that Hoyland was doing, or arguably Sesko, because there's a reason why he bought them. Regardless of your specific view of your team, there's a reason why they were bought. They're not executed. I think it's the same thing. I personally think it's the same thing.
Okay.
But I just have to train that question there.
You good though. We had to pull a player from this game, but like it's very bad.
Not Gyokeres.
But like I know is it like a real way to pull out attacker who didn't get GA though, but the only person who really come out of this stuff is either Saka or Kala Fury.
Bro, what kind of statement is that?
No, that is the most Gen Z thing I've ever heard you say.
Yeah.
No, but like
if a man play good, he play good. If he play good, he play good. This is football.
Saka and Zubimendi were the best players on the pitch. So pick
Don't do that again.
Cool.
Don't ever do that again.
I was really gonna put Trossard after the game he had with a goal to mask a terrible performance.
Don't ever do that again.
Dog, Timber was taking the absolute folly in the final third, right? The one good cross this man put in, God to trust that, completely on mark of the back post. Had time to take touch and take down. If the 15 million options he could have had of what to do, this man put it past the near post and not even on target, dog.
Man, mask a whole terrible performance with that goal.
But yeah. All right, guys, cool. Let me rattle through these big six, the non-big 60. Well, not rattle through because we should talk about Palace Bournemouth, but the rest of them will rattle through. Palace. I see nobody wanted to say nothing on Fulham because it generally was absolutely pathetic, dog. If it's one thing, Harry was I like to shoot point. That man loved to pull the trigger from every single possible angle and none on target. Bournemouth versus Palace at Palace started off 2-0 down. Striker Krupi started this game, was 2-0 up, 2 goals up rather, and then Mateta was like, hold my beer, and then he was a score 3. However, this is one of the rarest occurrences I have ever seen when a striker manages to score a hat-trick but yet underperform his XG.
He is the only Premier League player to do that.
Correct.
That's crazy. I guess that come from the miss. The last
miss at the end. It should have been 4.
Dog, if only see that man shot man from that game, it's just chaos. Pure chaos, dog. But he is chaos. He is a striker who is chaotic.
I wanted him
But,
so bad. So
Yeah.
dog, I asked them men on a pod this year, dog, if Mateta is in the top 50 strikers in the world. And them men watch me. Bro, I'm going to disagree with me here. But them men watch me by eye and tell me about Taro in the dog. And I asked Yuan. And I was like, Yuan, be honest with yourself, right? If you had to choose between Mateta and Lautaro to start for your side tomorrow in a Champions League final, you know he tell me Lautaro, right?
The funniest thing is I wasn't even on that pod.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, that was with Shivs and Patrick and you and see what's happening. You rotate the cast by others get these kind of answers. But Mateta obviously comes to the fore in this, but I have never known Krupi to start before this. Was this
the man are insane first half, bro? Insane
yeah,
I was gonna say Munoz was insane too, dog. Like he was crazy in the second half. He literally dragged them back into the game. I think he assisted 2 of Mateta's goal, and the one he missed was also from Munoz.
Nah, the one he missed was from Eddie. Actually, Eddie cut it back to him.
Oh, for real.
Yeah. But Brandon, you want to watch this game, so you should really talk and tell us.
Bro, I tell you, Munoz and Mateta have to be in, and if you could fit in Krupi somehow, you had to put him in too, because dog, the game was actual fire. Like it was the most exciting game of the season so far. I can't even lie to you. Like I sat down there thinking, wow, we're not gonna roll over Crystal Palace today, and then Palace scored, and I was like, wow. And then it just kept going and going and going and going, and I was like, up till the last kick of the game, it was extremely exciting. Best game of the season so far.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, in general, Bournemouth, even with only a point, are third in the league.
Yeah, boy. They're all overperforming at the moment. I can't lie. They're all overperforming at the moment.
Scarecrow is a beast, clearly. Nobody gonna get if you know, you know.
And well, Palace went from they didn't lose this weekend. They didn't lose. Well, the undefeated streak and they started to really swallow some goals, boy.
Now they like the Undertaker 21-on-1.
I don't know how much that's irritated me that they actually allowed that streak there, you know. It's so stupid. That is
I don't mind. I don't mind it.
Nah,
I don't mind it.
I do mind it. And worse yet to who they do it to, dog.
Gyokeres, no?
Dog, he is so forced, dog. This man is so forced, dog. I don't like Brock Lesnar.
That's why it's crazy. That's why it was crazy that he lost. My problem is, why did they continue? Like, why does he have 2 losses now? Like,
yeah.
Like, why did it go? Why did it happen again?
Just keep going until he gets 21.
Yeah.
Like it's 50-50.
21. Can he stop the streak?
Yeah.
Stop the streak. So dumb, bro. The man is 80. He has a keen walking into the ring.
Yeah.
To the WrestleMania.
All right, guys. All right, so Apoyin, Munoz, Mateta, and Krupi, right?
We
So
have any more players to put in?
yes, we have two more. So are the two games coming to take out three more?
I know, I
Oh
know, I
wait, how
know, I
much
know.
three? Oh no, it is three. I write this like a bottom, but it is three. We have two more midfielders to get, and
A defender.
no, one more midfielder to get. Sorry, and a defender and a keeper. So I once again asked if we gonna put the customary goalkeeper of Roofs or if you want to put somebody else.
I was gonna put Mukiel, you know. And
Yeah,
see,
since he
he
did have
scored.
yeah, he did score. And just once again, Sunderland are seventh in the table. And for those of you who know, Granit Xhaka is undroppable in FPL because that one is a guarantee 5 points every single week
I've had him
now.
since game week 1.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Mukiele is fine with me. And Wolves continue to be the 23rd worst team in this league. Then we have
Wow.
Burnley, who's proven not to be one of the worst teams in the league.
Dubravka dog! Dubravka dog!
Yeah, he had a mini goalkeeper. No. Yeah, you're right. I had a man started my FPL team this weekend.
I sat here
Really
and
get
said,
through
I
there.
get through. I get through.
And the last one is Brighton actually beat Newcastle. And that one kind of taken me by surprise. I didn't expect that one because I thought Newcastle was starting to slowly go up. But big up Brighton though. However, I am not about to put 4 strikers in here. I'm not going to put Welbeck. Unless we change something else. But Mateta had a hat trick. Krupi take everybody by surprise, and Haaland is Haaland. So these men catch it. So you had to pick a midfielder for me.
I can't remember who assisted Welbeck.
Ruta assisted one. I don't have anybody for the other one here. Yeah.
Let's see. 1 second.
Ruta.
Get the answer to
Yeah.
this question. Brighton. Yeah, I really can't believe they beat Newcastle. You know, that was quite surprising.
Well, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders.
You could give it to Weaver, I guess. He assisted the second goal.
He came on.
Well, I guess we could give it to Ruta, I guess.
Why not seeing Weaver anywhere though? Oh, he play right back. Oh wow, okay. Well, I would have here on the app. He is a right back.
New age managerial tactics. I hate it.
Okay, cool. We'll put Weaver then. No problem. All right, guys. This part was real long, so I feel like we ain't about to try and wrap up Europe. I just want to say 2 things real quick. First of all, this can't be real false advertising, guys, because I don't make the thing for the pod. It have Keane on the front end because he did win the Classic Cup.
It's really good.
We didn't talk about him. However,
Bro, here what to do. Put Kane on a Spurs shirt and you're gonna be good.
However, that's one horrendous goal that ended up being the winner, dog. Like Joe Bellingham, bro, they had in the gulag all the time. You're gonna stay there.
Bro, did y'all see that Joe Bellingham might leave because of everything that's been going on? Especially after the goal, apparently there was more friction after because he hit the ball into what we say.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, everybody else
was friction in the club or like fans.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard that his parents stormed into the dressing room.
The dressing room one thing
when he didn't get picked for a game.
Yeah,
and they had to get banned from the stadium and thing.
It's been bad.
Do you think they have some kind of cachet because of Jude or something?
Yes. So even more so now, before they didn't have before the reason was because his parents to not play him. Now they have an on-field reason not to play him because I don't know if you see it, the kill.
I saw when he tried to clear the ball and he kicked it straight into
it's an Olise dog. So that is Olise goal for the weekend, guys. So let's see the stat sheets. Yes, so keep that in mind. But Kane though, on a serious day, a ridiculous form, and he spoke recently in an interview, and I have found like he has spoken differently since at Bayern. And I'm really intrigued to see how this year pans out for him. Another player I just want to highlight first is Kylian Mbappe is the first Real Madrid player to score 10 goals in the first 9 games of a La Liga season since Cristiano Ronaldo in 2014-15.
Level boss
And
saying
yeah.
that how much goals you think Ronaldo scored in that 10 games? Or 9 games, or whatever it is.
15.
11. I was going to say
17.
11.
Yeah, crazy. That is nasty. That man almost scored 2 goals a game. What?
No, I was telling Sean this something though. I generally miss them, you know. Like when he
No,
and Messi scoring
I think we as football fans didn't appreciate him. And what's right,
Yeah.
we appreciated them a lot. We didn't appreciate them enough, bro. Because
Yeah, no, you're right though. Because if it is I had appreciated them enough then, not being a Barca or Real fan, I would have still make sure and tune in to watch their games every weekend. Like obviously I make sure to see all the highlights, but I talk about watch their games, bro, their whole games, and that era is just
I absolutely hate how we started lying as a football community. We started lying on Ronaldo. We started lying about what Ronaldo was. Ronaldo was a demon. What?
17 goals
after
in 9 games.
And nobody has done it since Mbappe. And Mbappe only have 10.
Wait, 2014-15 season?
Yeah, that's correct.
Dog, they didn't even win the league that year, though. Dog, that's crazy.
Bro, we did not appreciate what we was watching. We didn't.
No, boy,
And
I
we
say that to
missing
say,
it.
that man was just doing that for the sake of doing it, dog. Like,
Bro.
And Brandon favorite centre back scored the winner for Barca this weekend. That was another thing.
Correct.
Guys,
Highline.
And Flick gets sent off and last week is classical. Guys, here's all. I promise all you, no matter what happens next week, we're gonna start with the classical. I promise all you, we'll do classical first next week, right? Without a shadow of a doubt.
Bro, that classical gotta be a signal, Lil. You gotta feel real bad.
At Villa versus City, it can be 4-3. And we got so want to start it that I can't start it. But it's okay. Thank you guys for making the time. Guys, at the end of this recording, it is 1:38 a.m. But we do this for the love of the game. Thank you guys so much for being here. Catch you guys next time. See you soon. Take it easy. Later.